Hey Scruffy, you around?
Bring out your food early.
Late morning. It's kind of cold today. Well, not cold. It's cool though. It's windy too. I think there was a drizzle last night. Hey Scruffy, you around? No, didn't think so. It's lunchtime. Still no sign of Scruffy. I went around the house again. Didn't see him. I read on some tips on lost pets, and one of the tips was to sprinkle flour, like around the food or where you think they might walk. So when they get the food, you know what animal species ate the food. Since I have at least a raccoon problem, I'm hoping that the flour, if so, no animals come to eat the food. But if an animal did come, maybe I hope to see cat prints. So I sprinkled the flour here, and also, if you remember far back when I started this, or a little after I started this, there's a gap under a fence, which I believe Scruffy uses to get in and out of the yard. So I sprinkled a bunch of flour there, hoping maybe I'll see some cat tracks, although since, I've seen no sign of Scruffy, I don't think there's going to be any prints. And unfortunately, the weather the past couple days has gotten cooler and the wind's picked up, so I expect a lot of this stuff to blow away. But for now, give it a try. And I just saw one of my neighbors, one of the ones I talked to yesterday, so they're the one with the family, and kids named all the cats. And so, just talk briefly. They haven't seen Scruffy. One of them had gone for a walk this morning, kept an eye out, didn't see anything. So, someone on this front for now. I guess I'll check in at dinner. Scruffy. You can see from the flour I sprinkled today, doesn't look like any critter has come by, and the kibble and water are still full. It's about a half hour before our normal dinner time, but it's getting darker early now, so. And I've been keeping an eye on the door throughout the day, so I know Scruffy hasn't been here. So I had filled day doing things. So I found out where there is a centralized animal shelter for my region, and so apparently all animals get directed to this one shelter within a specific region. So they have a website, and they post all the animals that they've found, and you can go through it, and they have a little filter so you can try to weed down the pets you're looking for. Long story short, Scruffy wasn't in the list, but The shelter is actually not close to here. It's pretty far away. I kind of doubt Scruffy would end up there. On top of that, the shelter also says no feral cats, so they don't accept feral cats. So it would be a very weird set of circumstances that would allow Scruffy to show up there. I also sent out 2 feelers to 2 different vet clinics that are they're the 2 closest to me. So they both had a web form you can fill out to you fill out your information and type a message, and they're supposed to contact you back. So I filled out just description that Scruffy's missing, and the mention that it's a feral cat I've been feeding for 3 years now, and the text boxes didn't allow attachments, so I included a link to this YouTube channel, saying if they want a visual description, and in addition to what I described, they can go to the YouTube channel. I sent it a little late in the day, so might have been near closing time. I didn't receive a response, so hopefully I'll get something maybe tomorrow, but I'm actually not optimistic I'm going to hear from them, or they're going to have anything. And if they do know Scruffy, it's probably in pretty bad circumstances. And then I went to the park. I just came back, kind of a walk run. I brought my camera with me. So once again, I went down some of the streets I thought Scruffy might go down, and then I also checked the park. I actually don't think Scruffy goes down to the park. I think it's definitely further than I've ever seen him go, but it's possible. But since I'm going there anyway, I looked. I encountered the friendly cat on the way, so I asked the friendly cat. Have you seen the friendly cat? This is the friendly cat. Have you seen Scruffy? How you doing? So I'm looking for Scruffy. I don't know if you met. I don't know if Scruffy gets out this far. Oh, that was a tumble. Yeah, you're rubbing against my leg there. You seem to like the grass. More pets? Okay, if you see Scruffy, let him know I'm looking for him. Tell him to come home. And then in a different section of the park, I thought I encountered the friendly cat again, but as I got closer, he was a lot more skittish. And then I realized he didn't have the little bell he was wearing earlier. So I think it was a different cat that just kind of looked similar to the friendly cat. He didn't want to be interviewed, but I don't think he saw Scruffy either. Seen Scruffy? And then so I talked to one of my neighbors. Yeah, I think I said this at lunch. So I talked to one of my neighbors. Yeah, she went for a walk this morning, and yeah, she didn't see Scruffy. And then I talked to another neighbor I hadn't talked to. So I mentioned that Scruffy was missing, and Scruffy sometimes sits on her driveway in the middle of the night. So I mentioned that. she was actually completely oblivious to Scruffy, and that Scruffy came over there. I told her before about Scruffy, and I've been feeding him for the past couple years. But yeah, I don't think she's actually seen him before. So she was on her way somewhere, so I didn't want to keep her, but she'll keep her eyes open. And oh, I also tried to open a NextDoor account. So it actually turns out my dad got one of those flyers in the mail, and I signed up for him some years ago before he passed on. I think it was probably his last year he was here. Maybe it was the year before that. I think there was a particular reason we were interested in signing up. Like maybe we needed or we're looking for used goods or equipment or something. So we needed a lot of medical medical assist type things, and so not everything hospice would pay for, and was recommended to us that we look for used goods from people because a lot of people, unfortunately, were kind of in the same situation or similar situation to my dad, where the family buys a bunch of equipment, and then the family member dies, and they have all this extra equipment that they no longer have a need for, and so they might sell it used. And so it was recommended, rather than trying to go out and buy brand new stuff, which is really expensive, try to find somebody who is selling a used stuff. So I think that's why we signed up to NextDoor, and it was tied to his account, so I still have all his account data and passwords and stuff, because we knew he didn't have a lot of time, and I would have to take over as he became weaker. And so anyway, I thought, okay, rather than signing up again, I can just access his NextDoor account, since we'd already gone through all the verification and other hoops that they make you jump through. But they sent a confirmation when I tried logging into his email, and I actually had his email account information, but it escalated and asked a security question, and I didn't know about the security question, and I didn't know the answer to it. It was like, what was his first teacher's name? And I had no idea. And that was not in the notes that I wrote down, because I don't even think he remembered that there was a security question. He signed up for that email account way before he got critically ill. Coincidentally, I did talk to a relative today. So one of my aunts, completely unrelated reasons. I hadn't talked to her in a while, so I wanted to talk to her, and it was her birthday recently, so I wanted to wish her a happy birthday. And she, so she was unavailable on the day of her actual birthday, so she was actually getting back to me. And so at the very end, I actually remembered the question, and I asked her, "Do you know the answer to this?" And she shook her head, saying, "Oh, that's a hard one. Oh boy." She knew his favorite teacher, but she didn't know his first teacher. And unfortunately, his favorite teacher was not the correct answer. So anyway, I then tried to sign up for NextDoor myself, and they required a text number, and I only have Google Voice stuff, so, and I'm reluctant to give that type of stuff out because I know, they're data profiling you everywhere, and I'm not enthusiastic about that. But I caved in. This is for Scruffy. So I gave him my number, and then they still didn't let me in, and I had to click on another box where they're going to mail me a postcard, and then I'll get the verification number in there. So it could be another week before I get it. So I won't be able to get on NextDoor. Great, at least for a while. So I got to suffer longer. It did let me browse a little bit, so it kept nagging me to verify. So I was able to browse some of it, couldn't search, but I think I was able to browse the past few days, and there wasn't anything about Scruffy. So nobody had found Scruffy, as far as I could tell. And I couldn't, and I can't post, unfortunately, until I get verified. So we'll see what happens there. And then started thinking about printing missing posters. Unfortunately, I don't have a color printer, or well, it's not quite true. I had so my dad actually has a color printer, and it's just been in sitting idle. But the ink cartridges run dry long ago, so I can't print anything in color. But I found out he had extra cartridges, so maybe I can print. I need to verify the cartridges actually fit. We used to go through multiple printers, so there used to be, back a little more than a few years ago, every time we bought a new computer, there was always a rebate for a free printer. And we didn't really need to print much, and so every time, every like 5 years or whatever, it was time to buy a new computer, and get a free printer, which we never used. And so we stockpiled a bunch of printers and stored ink, and so every time the printer ran out of ink, rather than buying a new ink cartridge, which was more expensive than the printer, we just swap in a new printer. Unfortunately, we finally used them all up. They stopped doing those rebates a while back, at least as far as I know, and haven't had to buy a new computer in a while. Fortunately, not after the lockdowns, because I know everything went sky high after that. So I need to see if the cartridges he has actually fits the current printer that's in use, because I think we got rid of the other printers. Yeah, really kind of stupid how that works. Throw away the printer, get a new one. And then, the computer. Yeah, so I was using my dad's computer to try to log into his account. It's the first time I've turned it on in quite a while. So, today kind of sucked. So not only am I thinking about Scruffy, it's also tied in a lot of memories about my dad. So, hard day. Had a hard time sleeping last night too, and the weather's kind of turned. It was not supposed to rain last night, but the forecast suddenly turned, and there was a small probability of rain, so I didn't actually think it was going to rain, but I could actually hear it on the roof, so it was actually raining a little bit. And then the wind picked up, and could hear it banging on my window as I was trying to sleep, wondering where Scruffy was. Looked out the window a few times. Got up multiple times throughout the night. And I know coming out here for dinner. So I got home. It's dark. And as I looked out the sliding glass window, I knew I wasn't going to see Scruffy. So this strong sense of dread and knotting in my stomach as I came out here to just double check, make sure Scruffy isn't here. So I thought I'd come out here, talk a little bit like I normally do, hoping a little bit maybe he'll hear my voice and he'll come around the corner like he's done a few times in the past. So he'll not be here at the door, but he's around the corner sleeping or something. In fact, now that I think about it, I think the very last night I saw him, I think he did that. I think, or maybe it was the night before, but he wasn't here at the door. I was a little puzzled and worried, and then he came around the corner. We did our normal dinner. But, give it a chance. Hope he'd do that again. So it's still a bit early, so I'm going to leave the porch light on here, keep the food out. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do about the video posting. For all you who joined me last night, so I did a live premiere. It's the first time I've ever tried that. I post the video and then tell it to go live immediately, but in addition to that, it also sets it up so you can do chat and so you can talk with people as the video is playing for the first time. And so a few of you joined me. I know it's no notice whatsoever, and it was pretty late at night. It takes a while for me to process these videos and upload them. It's kind of a slow process. So it's usually something I do right before I go to bed. And so anyway, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And the words of support and encouragement meant a lot to me. So thank you. So I'm wondering if I need to do that again tonight. Anyway, so we'll do this tomorrow. Thank you. Good night.